This week, Jonny gets his fanboy on as he chats to the dream team of Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott about Wonder Woman, Black Magick, and the current state of comic books. Meanwhile, Angelo sits down with Blomberg, the newly named Global Content Editor for PAX, in the first taste of our new series, Player Attack. This is Player Attack. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this week, instead of looking to the future, let's look back for a moment and recognise the 4 great games that have been added to the World Video Game Hall of Fame for 2017. A field of 12 finalists were nominated earlier this year, including Myst, Portal, Tomb Raider, Mortal Kombat, and even the classic Microsoft Windows Solitaire, but these 4 games quickly emerged as the winners. Spanning multiple decades, backgrounds, and gaming platforms, each one has significantly impacted life as we know it, both within the world of video games and society in general. So, congratulations to Halo Combat Evolved, Pokemon Red and Green, Street Fighter 2, and Donkey Kong. All of these games are now on permanent display at the Strong Museum of Play in Rochester, New York, alongside previous inductees which include The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Bros., Doom, The Sims, Grand Theft Auto 3, Tetris, Sonic the Hedgehog, Pac-Man, The Oregon Trail, Space Invaders, World of Warcraft, and of course, Pong. Now though, we can get back to some more modern things. You might not have heard of it, but you might be in the minority. Multiplayer shooter PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has taken Steam by storm over the past month, to the point that this early access game has already sold 2 million copies. The premise of the game is simple. 100 players drop out of a plane onto an island where they must scavenge for weapons and equipment, and then, basically, fight for their lives. Even though the island might seem huge to begin with, the battleground gets smaller and smaller as these Hunger Games play out. If this sounds like something you want to do, join 2 million of your closest friends and jump on Steam to grab a copy now. But speaking of games on Steam, after nearly 20 years, German gamers can finally play the original, uncensored version of Valve's classic FPS, Half-Life. When the game was first released in 1998, its graphic displays of gore and violence landed Half-Life on the notorious Index of Objectionable Media by the Federal Review Board for media harmful to young persons. Once a game makes it onto the index, it cannot be sold to anyone under the age of 18 or even publicly advertised. Given that Half-Life landed on the list thanks to that violence and gore, the version released in Germany had some serious modifications. Blood was replaced by oil, human enemies were turned into robots with mechanical parts, and some characters simply did not die when they were attacked. Now, quietly, the German government has changed its mind, and Valve has, equally quietly, released a free patch for anyone who owns the censored version, meaning a new generation of gamers will finally find out what happens when you shoot a scientist. In quick news, it seems Nintendo was so determined to meet customer demand for the Switch that the company decided to take a cut in profits and ship consoles via plane rather than the cheaper, slower road, rail or sea options. The decision cost Nintendo around $45 per console, but the company sold 2.74 million Switch units in the first month, compared to the mere 2 million it had planned, so the quick turnaround had some obvious benefits. Big N also revealed plans for the first DLC to hit The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild later this year. You're looking at a brand new challenge, a new map feature that will highlight the roads most travelled, a new harder difficulty mode, a mysterious travel medallion, a mask that will help you find Koroks, and some new armour sets, including this one, which may just be the best thing we've seen in a long time. In still more Nintendo news, the rumour mill is buzzing with the idea that this year's big Nintendo Switch release will be Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, combining everyone's favourite plumber with, you know, Ubisoft's charismatic Rabbids. Details are sketchy and rely on unnamed sources at this stage, but it might be an idea to keep an eye out around this time next month when E3 hits LA. We also don't know any details about this next thing, but we have to tell you anyway. Rocket League is teaming up with the WWE on an upcoming project, which we're hoping means real-world acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars will drop in on Backlash on May 21st, but it could mean just about anything else really. And whatever it is, it can't necessarily be more unexpected than this. Titanfall is headed to mobile as a real-time strategy game. Titanfall Assault is a collaboration between original developer Respawn, publisher Nexon, and new developer Particle City, promising a fast and fluid RTS complete with both towering titans and agile pilots. If this is all sounding a bit familiar, it's actually the second time Titanfall has started the trek towards smartphones. Late last year, the same three companies announced plans for Titanfall Frontline. That one was a strategic card-based battler, and it was axed just a couple of months after its big reveal. There's no word yet on a time frame for Titanfall Assault, but it will be arriving on both iOS and Android when it gets here. And finally this week, indie developer No Matter Studios has been forced to change the title of its upcoming debut project following a trademark dispute with Bethesda. The game in question, Pray for the Gods, has now been retitled Pray for the Gods, with an ash in place of the E, that is, that combined AE character. The logo for the game remains the same, with a kneeling woman between the R and the Y. The three-person development team explains the alternate spelling was actually one they'd considered earlier, but discarded when they figured people would have problems entering the unusual character into search engines. However, their hand was forced when Bethesda decided the trademark application was a little too similar to the existing trademark for Prey, which incidentally has hit shelves this week. Now, the studio isn't necessarily pleased with the outcome, but the resulting drama has certainly pushed the game firmly into the spotlight. Pray for the Gods is a third-person action-adventure game set in a massive snowstorm, and it looks like this. For more information on any of these stories, or to keep up to date with the latest gaming news, head to playerattack.com. But for now, stick around, we've got plenty more still to come.